and breathed new life into it. To say it's hard to follow up to an instant classic is an understatement, and most of the time, next to impossible. God of War 2018 was so different from its predecessor and left you in awe as the Leviathan axe came flying back into Kratos' hand after he threw it. God of War Ragnarok doubles down on that feeling and gives you a lot of the same gameplay, but at the same time, feels new and rewarding. God of War Ragnarok is a journey that hits you in the heart within the first 5 minutes and is a roller coaster of action and emotions from start to finish. It's one of the best games of 2022 and one of the best sequels I have ever played. I'm Court Lalonde from Carpool Gaming, and this is God of War Ragnarok in review. I want to thank PlayStation Canada for providing a code for review. I will not discuss any story beats, so this will be a spoiler-free review. As I've said before, the gameplay is a lot of the same regarding fighting mechanics, but adds some new weapons throughout the story. You get to spend more time using more than just Kratos throughout the story, which gives you a fresh look at combat. As with all games, your characters develop this sort of video game amnesia, we like to call it, and your character starts from square one regarding skills, but does start off with a lot of the same weapons. The skill tree is back, but you need to craft and upgrade your weapons to unlock sections of that skill tree for that character. Your characters earn XP as you progress through the story after each encounter with enemies or when you finish missions. Collectibles are everywhere, along with Odin's Ravens that are back. As before, you need to destroy them. The puzzles that stand in your way are different than the previous game, and in some cases, add another level of difficulty in solving them. As in the last game, you won't be able to solve all puzzles as you will need specific skills to unlock them, and you will get them as you progress through the game. The boss fights are just as cinematic, but they've added some more elements to make them more and more complicated, like health regeneration, extra shields, but they've also made the parry more functional and is a must for most boss battles. The Valkyries are not back this time, but a new enemy type is, and is just as challenging scattered throughout the realm. You're still going to have your God of War gameplay that you love with the hack and slash and brutal finishers, but they go the extra mile in telling a story and making you fall in love with each character you meet, and feel like you know them by the end of it. I did find the pacing at one point to throw me off. I didn't know at the time it was setting me up for future, and it ended up being an integral part of the story. The dialogue in the game is like a guide when stuck on puzzles or as you progress to tell you if you have missed something or if even to make fun of you for collecting everything in the world. They do it in a way that I didn't notice but came to rely on as I progressed, making me laugh a little bit along the way. The variety of enemies could have been better as some of them feel the same and look a little reskinned, but it was only one set of enemies that I found throughout the world that was like this. Even after you roll credits, there's a lot more game left to play, and they've added some replayability. Not just...
Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. I'm glad you're here because you're listening to the most horsepowerful podcast on the internet. It's the Xbox Drive. I'm on a Skype call with my good old friend, Dave Moore, the original co-founder and co-host of the Xbox Drive. And we're going to talk about those game awards, and Xbox kind of wasn't there. So jump on into the Xbox Drive. Dave Moore. Greater than Hi, Dave.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Dave. A blast from the past this week on the Xbox Drive. I feel like we just rewound about 350 episodes or something like that. Or no, 250 episodes. Dave Moore, the original co-host, the co-founder of the Xbox Drive, joining me today. What is going on, Dave?
It's weird. You're not in your car.
No.
I expect Diet Coke to be drank. What
It's
else?
empty.
What else did? It's
here.
It does exist though.
Yes, the Diet Coke is here. This is today's. You can hear it. You can hear the ice. This is not. Not like leftover from yesterday or nothing.
At some point, like at 20-ish, 23 minutes in, you need to go through a dead zone of space so that
the Silent
I can
Hill.
be like, the Silent Hill. So I can go, hey, so I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Xbox, even though I'm playing my first Xbox ever, just like I'll pretend like I know.
Yeah, no, this is great. It's funny. Brian Murford, I should say, the weatherman
I was gonna
on the
say
Moose. Brian Murford. I am ordering my Murford and Sean's T-shirt on our merch store, which I'll talk about in a second. But that is there. Brian Murford, unfortunately away this week. I'm trying to decide really in this moment, Dave, if I should make up some horrendous, totally fake and made up story about what's going on, or just say we're giving the week off this week.
We could play a fake car crash sound, and you could just pretend like something.
Who would do that?
Dude.
Who would do that? As if the thing ran out of batteries. Oh my goodness gracious, man! We are in for a ride today. For people who haven't been with us for the many years the Xbox Drive has been on the air, Dave and I used to do the show together, and it was pretty. I mean, it's the same, but it was pretty different. Like, there's a lot of like, who gives a crap kind of attitude back then. Like, a bit of a different energy, I think.
I'll be clear. I still don't give a crap.
That's totally fair. Well,
if this is too serious, it's not. It's you know. There's a place. I mean, come on. I'm at a point, Sean, on the internet where I just taste snacks.
Yes.
Today I have to taste dehydrated camping food, like a creme brulee that
like an astronaut.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
that's
astronaut
space food.
I was told I cannot open the box
Yep.
until the video, of course, and my dog is very interested in the smell of it. So I don't know. I'm concerned.
I mean, dogs should be. I think dogs should probably be. I think that just shows that your dog is healthy. Like, oh, that looks like something I could eat. Yeah, good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
You don't want them
Amazon,
not interested in food.
an envelope, an unsealed or a sealed envelope with unknown. Yeah, great. It's great.
I'd be more concerned both for the food and your dog if your dog was not interested. You know. Okay. Like, oh, a dog who, you know, my dogs anyways had no problem eating their own excrement. So, like, if they turn their nose up at food I'm supposed to eat, no thanks, dude. That's a sign that I'm not going to touch that. No way.
Fair.
Oh,
fair,
my goodness
fair.
gracious. Oh, man. Well, Dave, it's great to have you on the show. Who knows what we're going to be in for today. We are going to talk about those game awards that, I mean, Phil Spencer was there and things happened. But before we do, as Ryan Turford would do, let's clean out the garage. We got a couple things that I want to direct your attention to. If you're not already subscribed here on youtube.com/carpoolgaming, do it. Leave a comment, like the video. It helps us grow. And man, we've had a crazy year on 2022. We just got that email in from YouTube. You guys are helping us out. You can support the show at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, just like more than 80 patrons do right now, which is incredible. And we have new merch, and we have limited edition merch. That Murford and Sean's t-shirt is there. bit.ly/CPG merch. We are leaning into this. And man, wait till you guys see what we got for you in 2023. And Dave, I think that's all the details. But we had a lot of people who were excited that you were joining me on the show today. We're going to have the questions and comments kind of sprinkled in. First and foremost, the Muffin Man with the most disgusting name I've ever heard, Kevin Ainsworth, says, whoa, first off, hi, Dave. Secondly, my question, quote, Dave, what's the worst snack you ate this year? And Sean, what's the worst game you played this year? Let's start with you, Dave. The Snack Network, first of all, talk about your channel and why Kevin is asking you about what you're eating these days.
The Snack Network is a channel I started about 2 years ago where we taste something new, and it became tasting something new almost every single day. And it was supposed to be mostly good things, but it is. But sometimes it's horrible random things. And Kevin knows about the worst thing I've tasted this year because he did it with me at Extra Life.
Nice.
It was that Chinese Texas candy from Ethan, his co-host on his Xbox podcast, who decided he'd send me a whole box. There's a whole box of snacks. So
you still have it?
Oh no! Well,
you're pointing to it.
No, I don't have the candy, but I have a whole entire box of Texas snacks that I have not, that are on the list for shooting very soon. But we got stuck in holiday chocolates and listen. My entire house is full of snacks. It's disgusting how many snacks I have.
I was listening.
It's insane. But that Texas Texas candy, I don't remember what the order of those words is. It was supposed to be like pickled plum. Listen, I thought it was going to be too spicy for Kevin, right? Like, we're going to eat it. We're going to go, oh, Kevin's going to think it's too spicy. I ate it, and then I literally felt the chuck up, like this stuff. Like, I was like, oh, this is the worst thing. Now, remind you, the only thing I think I had in the last 16 hours was, like, tomato pie. So...
You need to like prepare yourself. You need to have like some, I don't know, like you need some sort of pharmaceutical help to like prepare your gut for what you do to it. Some sort of coating. Maybe eggnog. Maybe you should just start everything with eggnog.
Yeah, sure. That sounds.
What's your take on
really
eggnog?
healthy.
Is eggnog okay?
There is one kind of eggnog. It is a local eggnog from Harsler's. They make it, and it is delicious because it tastes like almost homemade.
I was not expecting you to go all hipster on eggnog on me, but that's okay.
Listen, this is what happens when I do a food channel. I just kind of switch into hipsterness.
Oh, bougie.
Yeah. Oh, it has so many flavors. The palate. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Wait till my video today. It's the opposite of serious. Anyway,
Amazing.
The point being,
is.
Harsler's eggnog is delicious because it tastes almost homemade. It comes in glass fancy bottles. You have to get it from the grocery store. Any other eggnog, you throw it out and it's gross.
Well, youtube.com/The Snack Network is where people need to go and subscribe for this. And also, you're crushing it on shorts. I think that's probably the biggest thing. You guys are just absolutely crushing it there, man.
We hit 1,500 followers on TikTok. So
Whoa.
I don't know. I started this as a regular channel, and then I don't know. Maybe I should just stop doing regular videos. It seems like. So.
I think that's the future. Honestly,
Just
that
shorts.
sounds like we're all headed anyways. Like, who wants to watch it? We're either going to go from 15-second videos to 4-hour podcasts that somehow exist in this world, which is incredible.
You could just get in your car, Sean, and yell Xbox News, and that's it. That's all you have to do.
Basically what we did, man. I just can't. This is the thing with okay, so I've been talking about this a lot lately. Some people have not been around since the early days of We the GamerCast and the Xbox Drive and things like that. Like, when I talk about how like maybe, just maybe, we might be taking ourselves too seriously, it's because I started an Xbox podcast with this guy in my car. Like, and we shared this mentality. Like, we even talked about in the early days, should we get a better microphone? Like, nah, the crappy sound quality is part of the character. These are actual conversations Dave and I had. So we got to get back. Like, 2023, I mean, I'm going to get the loudest car I can possibly get. Like, it backfires and everything, got all the road noise.
All right, listen, there's got to be some serious. You did yell at me one time for, like, mixing my coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
I know.
Yeah, that
I have a
horrible.
weird set of standards, don't I? Like, you guys will never know.
Loudest car ever or swirling your coffee too loud. It's
swirling coffee, absolutely not allowed. Oh my goodness gracious. Ryan Turford actually jumped in and asked us a question. Oh, my worst game. You asked me a question about my worst game. I just had it here. I don't think that I have a good answer for you because I played mostly very good games this year. Disappointed, and I'll talk about it in a little bit, about Sonic Frontiers, possibly. That might be one of my more disappointed games. But honestly, I'm scrolling through my list, and like I played pretty good games this year. Oh, Lost Planet, that's my answer. It's not a new game. It's a 360 game that I bought for like $4, and it doesn't hold up.
Terrible.
Yeah, no,
it's terrible.
I remember it being excellent. I remember playing it in like 2008 or something like that. The demo of it, actually, and always wanting to buy it.
Definitely played the demo. Thought the demo was fun, and then bought it, and then was like, "Why did I buy this dumb game?"
When it's not that, it's not the demo. The demo is like you're off on this like snowy planet. And you got these cool like kind of insecty robot things with glowing parts on it, and that's all great. And then I mean, part of it is you played in 2022, and the control like we've advanced controls since then quite a bit, Dave Moore.
Oh, 100%. But there were tons of games at the time that were like that, and I don't like any of those games either.
Seriously. Blaze Knight in the chat says Sean is about to bust out the Xbox 360 era for that authentic early Xbox Drive sound. Maybe not as well known fact. I would record it on my iPhone with the like plug-in headphones that you had. Like I had like the online mic.
The built-in microphone on those headphones was not terrible. It's not great, but it was not terrible.
Not bad. I had it looped around my ear, one ear, and then like it actually kind of looped around my other ear so that it actually rested on my chin. Also something that most people didn't see. We weren't on video. The little microphone would actually like sit either on my chin or just below. So it sounded pretty good, man. We had it like held together with like duct tape and seemed to work. Xbox Canada took a liking to it. We didn't even reach out to them, man. They're like, we're listening. We're like, what? What are you talking about?
every week I had to make sure it was prepared to edit out a section of the show where Sean would just disappear. It was great. It was
right. Yeah. My
it was
phone would lose connection just for a little bit. But man, we could talk about the good old days all day. But Ryan Turfer jumps in, says, "Hi there, longtime listener, first time caller here. With your cramming session in full force, Sean, how do you feel that changes your approach to playing games in 2023? Also, Dave, if you had to invent an Xbox themed snack, what would it be? I'd make gummy Battletoads." And I don't know if you want a moment to think about that, but you can jump in if you like.
Give me half a second. I feel like it's got to... Okay, yeah.
I can talk about my cramming session where I have dedicated myself to playing a list of games that I think should at least be considered and discussed for our upcoming Game of the Year 2022 discussion here on Carpool Gaming. And I'm playing everything, dude. I played like 15 hours of Elden Ring. I've played about 5 or 6 hours of God of War Ragnarok. I put, I think, 50 hours or something into Vampire Survivors and all these different things. Neon White is another game I'm playing on PC, and I'm having a blast, Ryan. Or Dave. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Sean.
Also, Ryan, who I'm answering the question to. I guess that would also work.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought, yeah, we're talking to Ryan. If you want my Xbox themed snack, okay?
Yes.
Chex Mix makes these things they call Max D. They're called Max D. They're like weird Chex Mix, but they've got like spicy flavors in it, okay? And the one that's really gross and disgusting is this pickle one. It's like a pickle mix, but it has these little tiny, like almost like corn chips in them that are like flavor blasted. I don't actually know what they're made of or like what they are, but I would take those and turn them in, and the disgusting thing about those, okay? The worst part about them is they're like wet. Like the texture is moist. Like they like the flavor, the amount of flavor coating they put on it, it's like wet. Now it's always something.
Stop saying
gross,
wet. Oh, and moist. God.
It's pickly. Okay, so I would take those. I would take those, okay, but I'm gonna make them a good flavor. I'm gonna turn them into little X shapes. They're gonna be little Xbox shapes. They're gonna be green because they are green in the Chex Mix, and I'm gonna make them lime flavored. So they're like these kind of wet but also kind of crunchy lime chips that sound really good. I think I'm on board.
I'm really glad you took the time to concoct that in your noodle. Holy crap, dude. YouTube.com/The Snack Network. Every time you say something weird about food, I'm plugging your channel, man. Everybody should go check it out. How is this cramming session going to change? Dude, the one thing that I will say is I've let myself go of like, I don't plan on beating all of these games, and probably most of these. I don't even know if there is an end to Vampire Survivors. Elden Ring is like 1,000 hours or something stupid like that. There's all these games, so like I'm in a bit of a free space right now, which has been kind of nice, Dave. Not gonna lie, but I don't know if it's gonna change anything. I feel a little regret that I didn't play Elden Ring earlier because I just heard, or Neon White. I think that's probably the biggest thing. It's not necessarily it's gonna change how or what I play. It's how much I listen to people. And I'm saying that as a podcaster where I'm hoping people will listen to me. But man, people got Neon White all wrong. Just leave the card stuff out of it. Stop talking about all the cards. And with Elden Ring, stop talking about how hard it is and how people are going to be frustrated by it. Like, that might be an experience. But man, that game is so great, and I'm totally enthralled with the art style, and I've played Bloodborne. I don't know why I didn't want to jump into this one, but I'm frustrated with everybody who just convinced me that I shouldn't play any of these games, because Neon White it's up there, man, and so is Elden Ring. It's very cool. Kevin Ainsworth says, I played so much Vampire Survivors because of Sean. Everybody should play Vampire Survivors. Dave Moore, have you played Vampire Survivors yet?
I don't even know what that is. That's
Vampire Survivors. Dave, come on. It's on Game Pass. This is like probably game of the year. We'll actually pull out the 8 tracks, slide them on in because it's time for the playlist. Dave, I'm playing Vampire Survivors, which is like a 8 or 16-bit, God knows whatever, like very basic looking game. You play some sort of like almost like a Castlevania-esque hero character with a random power-up. And you walk through and there's just hordes of like bats and goblins and monsters and whatever else like chasing after you. You get all these different powers. And at the end, you know, there's probably 10,000 enemies just running at you. And you're like, no problem. I've been leveling up this whole time. I've got my burning crosses. I've got this thing that zaps everybody on the screen. I've got 400 lightning bolts that's getting everybody. It's all flashing in my eyes. I can't believe I'm not having a seizure playing this game. It's a bunch of dopamine. I don't think this is healthy for me. Vampire Survivors might be one of my favorite games of the year, Dave Moore. Oh my gosh.
Nope, never going to play this.
Dang it.
You said like giant waves of enemies and Castlevania style power ups.
Yeah.
And I heard, yep, nope, another game that sounds really, really fun.
Here's the
right,
thing,
on
Dave.
paper.
Listen, Dave. No platforming. You're walking around. It's basically like a reverse bullet hell, like where the enemies are running at you. You're not platforming at all. You're not jumping or leaping or even hitting an attack button. These weapons just fire off and you collect more, so more happens, and you reduce their cooldown so they attack faster and stronger. It's amazing, dude. Do not write this off.
Now I'm imagining Dynasty Warriors, except in 2D.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm imagining the right game.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
oh,
You're
okay.
closer.
Maybe.
Yep.
All right. That sounds actually kind of fun then.
Yep, totally. And no, well, in some cases, a couple objectives that you kind of have to do, but like really, you're just running around and just like, it's so satisfying to have these horde of monsters and you're like, no problem, whip to the face. And guess what? I've got an upgrade of my whip that gets from behind and everything. And I've got these Bibles that circle around my character. And as I upgrade it more, it becomes 1 to 3 to 5 to 8. And they're just like, dude, it's so like, satisfying is probably the best word. Vampire Survivors. Do not sleep on Vampire Survivors. It's on Game Pass, man. This is why you have a 12 teraflop Xbox Series X, everybody. Is for this 12-bit game that's going to run 1,000 enemies at you at the same time.
That's why I upgraded my TV, spent a bunch of extra money so that I can play this tiny little...
Pretty much, dude.
My Xbox, it just sits there and continues to gather dust along with slightly less dust, though, than my PlayStation 5.
Dang.
It's just happening. I have Game Pass. I continue going, should I keep paying for this? Should I keep paying?
Play Vampire Survivors.
You're right, though. But see, if I play like one game a month, I feel like I got my value. So if this is the game you say it is, I'll play it.
And the thing is, and I don't like to make a recommendation with the chance that like maybe somebody's not going to like it like that. I take that very seriously.
Oh no, hold on. You know how many game recommendations I have taken? And let's take that ratio and compare it to the amount of games that Dave actually likes. That scale is so low that if you recommend a game to me and I don't like it, that's my fault probably at that ratio. That's a me. It's probably a me problem. So
man, I'm telling you though, like this, I feel like it's actually unhealthy for me to play it because like you start out and you maybe last like 5-6 minutes, and then as you get bigger, stronger, and then it's a 30-minute run, dude. You do like 1 or 2 of those, and suddenly like it's your whole night. Like what happened? I've just been playing this stupid like kind of arcade game. It's now on mobile, but I don't care. It's my game of the week that I will talk about, and I've got lots more that I want to cover on our game of the year conversation. I'm going to talk a lot about like what I've kind of been doing with this whole cramming session. But Dave, curious about you. Have you been playing anything?
Not on Xbox.
Okay, what have you been playing?
My current obsession is Marble Snap. Marble Snap is
nice.
Incredible. It's the best mobile game since Pokemon Go. I'd like to establish that. So it's the best mobile game since 2016, everybody. So if you're not playing that, it also makes me want to play Midnight Suns. And then I heard Kevin talking about how great it is, and now I'm like, do I go buy that? And then I look at it and go, no, it's too expensive. It's not on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So
it'll come.
Marvel Midnight Suns is definitely coming to Game Pass at some point.
There you go, the Dave Moore guarantee.
If we got Guardians of the Galaxy 2 weeks after I paid $60 for it, it's definitely happening.
Dude, that really did happen. Did you take it back?
Did.
Did you refund? Did you get a refund for
No,
that?
I didn't refund. I don't know how.
No. You don't know how?
I own Guardians, and it's always on Game Pass. It's just like every other game. I pay for Game Pass for a Forza Horizon 5 subscription. That's basically what it is. But it's the best racing game ever made in the history of mankind. So I play that when I'm just trying to like play something really quick. I go back to SSX 3.
Nice.
Backwards compatible Xbox One. Mm-hmm. And by Xbox One, I'm sorry, I mean OG Xbox, because, the names are really confusing and wonderful. And I play that on my Xbox, and I've been playing Pokemon, and it's really fun, even though it's broken, but it's also really fun, so everybody needs to stop saying it's broken, because literally every single game is broken when it comes out, guys. Every single game we get is broken.
Can't tell you something, Dave?
It's just, yeah.
Not Vampire Survivors.
Well, that's because it's like 12-bit or something.
It works, dude.
I'm going to play it. I'll follow up.
Honestly, normally I would get upset if people were like playing games while trying to podcast with me. You can go ahead if you want. You can fire that up off to the side and just, do a round of that. That'd be great. That's what Court did.
I can't. I have to focus on this. Did you, you said it's on mobile though.
It is on phones now. Yep, just straight from the iOS or the Google Store.
Have you played it on mobile?
I have not. I don't want to play it on mobile. I played it for a moment on like xCloud before it did because it has touch controls on xCloud.
That's not the same thing. That's what my Backbone controller is for. That also just
I feel like it's pretty close to the same. It's got touch controls on xCloud versus like a native app on the iOS store. Basically the same. But no Chivos. No Chivos. That's the thing. It has Chivos, lots of Chivos on your achievements for those uninitiated. Oh my goodness gracious. Dave, you been playing anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it.
Well, we're slamming the brakes on this conversation. It's break time for breaking news. The breaking is like a car brakes for anybody who hasn't put that together already. It's a great car pun that we had from back in the day. The Game Awards happened, Dave Moore. Did you watch the Game Awards, the Jeff Keighley's?
I actually forgot they were happening completely. Didn't watch them.
Brand.
Always, Sean. I thought you're like, all right, we'll do the show. You can fill in. It'll be great. And I go, maybe I should go watch those Game Awards. And I thought, no, that wouldn't be what I would do. I watched a bunch of recaps like the next day, and everybody was like, hey, Crash Team Rumble got announced. Nobody cares about that. Moving on. I was like, that sounds like the coolest thing that you've said in this 12-minute video where you've recapped this entire 2-hour thing. Like, that's the only announcement that I've actually gone, ooh, that sounds exciting. And the rest of it, everybody seems to glom on to things like, oh, I don't get it.
Well, I had a feeling you were going to say that, Dave. That is literally at the top of our list. Crash Team Rumble is a new 4v4 multiplayer game coming in 2023. Why do I care about this, Dave? I don't like this is classic you and me. Who cares about Crash Bandicoot? And Dave's like, me. Hi.
This game got teased basically in Crash 4 a couple years ago. It was like in the TV. If you beat the entire game, you could go touch the TV and then it would show you the logo for this game. So it's been in the work for a very long time, and it just looks like fun, and I love fun games, and no one can just define the genre of it. It looks like Pac-Man 99 meets Splatoon would be my best way to compare what this is, because you're platforming, collecting Wampa fruit, and also fighting with people, but to get the most Wampa fruit to fill up like percentage gauges to who wins, and it doesn't look like it makes any sense. And like, that sounds so fun because it's not just like, here's another battle royale or here's another 4v4 shooter game,
right?
Like no, it's a Crash Bandicoot. It's Crash platformers collecting fruit to earn points to do something. Who knows?
So are you like day one on this, like regardless of Game Pass? Like,
I'm pretty sure it'll probably come to Game Pass because it's, eventually it's technically made by Activision, right? Second, I think it's probably free to play. Like, I assume it's also free to play.
Interesting.
That would be my guess. I don't know that for sure, but
it's not really something that like they come out with like on those adverts. Like, this is going to be a $60 game. This is going to be a free to play game. Like, we'll find out later, I guess.
Yeah, no, my gut says free to play. I mean, the other part is Crash games are usually only like $40, especially the smaller ones. Like this seems to be like Crash 4 was 60, but like the Insane Trilogy, I think launched at 50. Like Crash Team Racing, I think was only 40 when it launched.
Yeah,
like there's going to be a balance here. I don't think this game will be incredibly expensive, and it looks like the fun of Splatoon mixed with the collection of like Pac-Man 99 Battle Royale kind of.
Interesting. Kevin Ainsworth in the chat says, I don't think this is free to play at all. We'll see. The fact checkers are out. They're doing the things. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Do you want me to run through a couple bullet points that I thought were exciting and see where you land on this?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's do this old style where you have a news list and I go, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Okay. For me, and there's a couple honorable mentions, and also for people who are in the chat, would love to see what you guys have, what you thought was really exciting from the Game Awards. If you're watching the VOD, leave a comment down below. I thought the Hades 2 announcement was pretty amazing. Did you play Hades 1, Dave?
No, my brother did. He said it was really fun, but I wouldn't like
Hades.
it, so I ignored it because he said I wouldn't like it.
Because it's a video game? Is that why?
Yeah, that's exactly why. It's not a snack, so
Hades 2, man. It's a surprise, too, because as we were watching, you're like, man, this looks like Hades, but like these guys don't do sequels, but here it is. Totally excited about that coming next year, or maybe just that they're working on it. Kevin Levine's, this is classic, the Xbox Drive. Like, half details, okay? It's just a thing that happened that I'm excited about. Ken Levine's next game, Judas, finally revealed. Dave, BioShock, by the guy who made BioShock. He left the BioShock team. Now he has his own BioShock team, making a new BioShock in space. I'm all in, man. Did you see this?
I didn't, and this would have been one of those games I would have gone, oh yeah, okay.
Oh, Dave, this is why you're not on the show anymore.
Yeah, this is why.
New Star Wars Jedi Survivor trailer confirms a March release. Dude, we are in for a crazy 2023.
I need another job is really what I need.
Another job?
Yeah,
you already have one. Like, let Kevin Ainsworth get a job first and foremost. Come on, man. We got to let this guy, he played 90 games this year. Get a job, Kevin. Love you, buddy. Why do you need another job? Oh, to actually buy these games?
Yeah, because I'll buy this Star Wars game, and don't worry, 2 weeks later it'll hit Game Pass. That's exactly how it'll go.
That's too much adulting, man. Too much adult. That's the whole thing. As a kid, you can't afford the games. As an adult, you don't have time, but you have the jobs, and it's
yeah,
not good,
it eats at me every minute of every day that I cannot have time to play them.
I thought between Ken Levine's game, the Star Wars game, and what's next, Diablo 4, and actually the Suicide Squad as well will tie in there. Man, we're starting to get some games that are triple A, maybe even quadruple A, Dave. These games are huge. They cost a huge amount of money. It seems like I actually kind of believe it that they're coming out, which is probably me just setting myself up for disappointment.
When you set March dates, when you say March and it's December, I believe you.
Yeah.
When you say 2023, I go, 2026.
Yeah.
At this point, there's if you have a March date, I believe it. It might get delayed to April, right? But it's not going past, that.
I'd love to roll the tape back to go. Definitely Starfield, absolutely getting that very specific date that they nailed down, 11/11/22. Even Kevin Ainsworth, or not Kevin Ainsworth, I'm sorry, Matt Sawinski from the PlayStation Drive and our Carpool Gaming host, Fantasy Critic, counterpicked Starfield, and we all thought he was nuts. Dude, what are you talking about? They locked down that date. It's not happening.
They're not, if they're not Microsoft first party and they lock down a date, that's not that far away, I believe that.
Okay, we got our criteria here. Diablo 4, I'm stoked about, dude. June 6, 2023. Do you play Diablo?
No, I've played Diablo 3 a little bit with some neighbor friends one time and thought it was really fun. And I played a lot of Diablo-like games that are similar. There was a PS2 one that was oh God, what's that game called? I'll never remember. It's
Torchlight? Darksiders. Darksiders is...
Darksiders, yeah. And I played
Diablo,
that and loved that game. I like Marvel's Marvel Alliance.
Ultimate Alliance, definitely a Diablo-like, for sure.
Yeah, I like those games. Yep. So, the fact that there's a brand new Diablo game coming, I'm very excited to be, involved in the hype of it this time.
Rod Ferguson, who led the Coalition through some great games with the Gears of War, actually worked at Epic prior to that, is leading this team with Diablo 4. Dude is a legend. He is a walking legend. He does not get enough credit. I can't wait to see what he's got here. I think the Trophy Room was talking about this in their wrap-up as well. Gone back to their roots, man. This looks terrifying and gothic and demonic and really, really cool. Diablo is a storied franchise that hopefully they nail it right out of the park, right on day one. They had kind of a rough launch with Diablo 3, I think. But Rod is here to fix everything, Dave.
Oh, being here day one makes it exciting for me.
June 6th. Let's go, man.
Yep.
A week or two before that, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. It will include Kevin Conroy in what seems to be his final performance as Batman. And that was definitely a moment, Dave, if you saw. This was a game that wasn't really supposed to have Batman. We've been lamenting for a long time. Batman's dead. I can't believe they're making a Batman game with no Batman. Not only is Batman in this game, but just an absolute Hall of Famer, legend, Kevin Conroy, voicing Batman for the final time.
That's the exciting part. I don't know about the game itself.
Oh snap! That's the thing. We might get a little bit of a boost, kind of like a Jimi Hendrix boost or Nirvana or some of these guys who've had Sublime, maybe.
You care about it, but you kind of have to sit back and go, I
think I would think twice about being part of any Batman project at this point. I'm not gonna lie. Between Heath Ledger and Kevin Conroy, just get me the hell away from working on a Batman project.
Doesn't seem safe anymore.
Maybe a little dark. Honorable mentions, at least according to me, I think Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 looks awesome. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't know if you saw that. Really cool.
That I would have completely ignored.
Oh,
That would have been the get up and go get a snack kind of.
You're missing out, dude. Street Fighter 6, I think, is going to make a weird comeback.
I'm excited. I'm excited for I love fighting games, and to be here for like an actual Street Fighter launch.
Yeah,
exciting, because like it feels like everybody talks about Street Fighter 2, and I go, yeah, I don't really get it. Like I don't get it, but I wasn't there, and everybody seems to still love it, but I still don't get it.
It's classic.
To be able to jump in like Diablo again, right? Like to be here for the excitement part, I'm on board and ready.
Hellblade is. Do you know Hellblade? Hellboy. That movie with the weird looking dude.
I would mix these 12 things up that you all start with
Hellboy.
So,
Hellboy. He looks like he's all red. He has his horns cut off. It's a comic adaptation. Looked like a cool game.
Okay.
Dead Cells getting Return to Castlevania DLC. This blew my mind. I think this was in the pre-show, Dave. You're playing Dead Cells, but you're playing with Castlevania characters. I'm totally in. I haven't played Dead Cells since it came out. And I think it was probably best known, unfortunately, for that review from IGN that was totally plagiarized by that guy. That's why everybody knows about fast, fluid combat. That's it, man. All right.
And all his other reviews.
This is going to lead into really probably our biggest part of our conversation, Dave. We had a lot of great awards that were sent out. Elden Ring, these are the awards that were given to the games that you can play on Xbox, because it's going to lead into something else here. These are games you can play on Xbox. Elden Ring won Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Art Direction, and Best RPG. As Dusk Falls won Games for Impact, which I think is questionable. I'm not sure what impact that game is supposed to be making. Multiverses, I think is playable on Xbox. I haven't played it myself. Best Fighter. And
it did actually. I've played Multiverses. It's quite fun.
That's it. Those are the only of the games that won awards at the Game Awards. Those are the only ones you can play on Xbox. And the internet is exploding about this. I think the chat is going to be exploding about this, because here's the categories that were not represented by games playable on Xbox: narrative, score and music, performance, ongoing game, indie game, community support, VR, AR, innovation and accessibility, action/adventure, family, sports and racing, sim and strategy, and multiplayer. That's a huge collection of awards that the games that won, you can't play them on Xbox. Should I just sell my Xbox right now? What the heck, Dave?
Sean, this is
it's not good. It's actually really bad. And here's what I'm gonna say. And this is just the weird state of gaming right now. We have these consoles that are 2 years old now, and I don't understand what the point of either one of them is. Neither one of them. Vampire Survivors, Dave.
That's not. No, I'm pretty sure if I can play it on my phone, I can play it on anything I want to play it on.
Now, I want to balance things out before we get into this topic from Nagachaka. Is there were games that were nominated that you could play on Xbox? Like, not that they were completely, not
fair.
there, but they didn't win.
But Microsoft has not put out games this year.
Next year, Dave. It's fine.
We've been saying next year since we started the Xbox Drive. You and I were saying
actually
next year.
I think that's true.
I'm not kidding. I remember going, oh, next year's going to be Xbox's year. Next year will be Xbox's year. The Xbox One is going to be the best console ever. I said it. I said it on this show. Okay, it's never next year, Sean. They showed Fable 20 years ago. They showed a CGI trailer for a game they called Fable. That game is a Fable. It doesn't exist.
Damn. Okay, the hot takes are coming out. This in from Nagachaka. He sent in a question that's going to be our main topic here. It says, was it really a big deal that Xbox didn't have any big announcements at the Game Awards this year, or is the internet overreacting? Did Xbox set the bar too high for themselves by revealing the Series X at the 2019 Game Awards, Dave?
Yeah, you know why it's a big deal? You know why it's a big freaking deal? Because there is no announcements. There's nothing. We're sitting here going, it's coming to Xbox eventually. Nothing. There is no hype. We've got Zelda. We've got Spider-Man. I can name you the 2 games coming to the other 2 consoles that are the most anticipated games of next year. I can't think of a single game honestly, that is coming to Xbox that the world is going to be excited about. And every game that comes down and gets excited, it's like Crackdown, and it's like a piece of garbage game that comes to Game Pass. Everybody goes, cool, an Xbox first-party game that everybody's excited about. And then it's gone 5 seconds later, not even it's like the day the game came out, everybody talks about it, and they're like, yeah, that game kind of sucks. And that even happens with games like Halo. Like, where are we in the Xbox world? They can go, we're going to go buy Activision, but we're not going to talk about that because we don't have any games at all. The biggest cycle news story for Microsoft and Xbox right now is an acquisition that no one even knows it's going to go through. No one knows what they're talking about. And there's no games like to be excited for. It's a big deal that they didn't have any big announcements at the Game Awards because they don't have any big announcements, period.
So you're taking their absence at the Game Awards as, yeah, if they had something to say, they would say it. They didn't say anything, so they don't have anything to say.
Yeah, and so what am I supposed to do, Sean? Sit here till June of next year? I'm supposed to sit here for another 6 months and go, maybe they'll show something at E3. That might be happening. Maybe Microsoft will give me a date for something in June. Like, that's insane. That's an insane amount of time to be like, yeah, good thing every other company under the sun's putting a game out in the first 6 months of next year. Cool. Microsoft didn't even put out anything for this holiday season. Good thing I can wait till the summer of next year to find out if there's going to be anything coming out for Christmas of next year. That's an insane thing to say. That's ridiculous.
I'm really enjoying this, actually. The trophy room as well in the chat also enjoying this. Says, God bless Dave because he's dead on right now.
I don't want to be on the side of the trophy room, Sean.
Yeah.
like you understand that the reason we started the Xbox Drive, I would like to establish, is Sean said that Forza Horizon 3 is the greatest video game of all time. And I believed him. So I went and bought an Xbox, okay? I went and bought an Xbox One. I bought a VCR Xbox One. I personally had never owned an Xbox before that. My brother had a 360 and an original Xbox. And I loved that game. And I fell in love with it enough to start this show with Sean and go, Xbox is exciting. And then we got Game Pass. And it also got exciting. And Microsoft seemed like they were firing on all cylinders for the first couple years of this podcast existence. And now we're sitting here at 2 years into a console cycle with nothing. Like, nothing. Don't tell me Halo Infinite. I can play it on Xbox One.
I wasn't going to say Halo Infinite. I was going to say Forza Horizon 5. You know, it's last.
Yeah, Forza Horizon 5 is fan. It's the greatest game ever made. That doesn't matter. No one likes racing games except you and me, Sean.
That's not true, dude. They have like 50 million players on this thing, and Sea of Thieves has still got like 50 million players and stuff. Like
Sea of Thieves does not have 50 million players. That's.
But I'm also going to pause myself because honestly, I feel like whenever I get into these kind of scenarios where I'm like, I'm not going to convince you otherwise. Like, there's nothing that I can say at this stage to go like, oh, maybe I missed out on this. Like, that's okay. And that's like whatever people feel about Xbox, like that's fine. All I know is I've spent the entire year in 2022 primarily playing my Xbox, and I've had a great year. You know, between that and that's the thing is it's a little bit more nuanced than have like where they're exclusives. There's no arguing that. There's absolutely no arguing that. I am glad that they delayed Starfield because it wasn't ready and we didn't want another Halo Infinite situation. So that's also good. But you know, Elden Ring is playable. The game of the year, playable on Xbox, kind of a big deal. And you got that God of War over on PlayStation that people seem to like.
Yeah. But you can play that on PS4. I'd like to also establish when I make my comment about anything I can play on Xbox.
Well, at least
One.
when Xbox releases DLC for games that you bought on an Xbox One, they also released the DLC for that system as well. Did you hear about?
Yeah.
I don't even want.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into console war stuff, and I don't like it.
I don't want to
That
go that far.
Horizon stuff is garbage. And Brendan Myers, I feel your ire, man. Brendan Myers.
No,
dude.
it's incredibly frustrating. It's not like everybody else on the other sides is doing really great in other ways. It's just the one Microsoft complaint is I don't know what we're looking forward to, Sean.
Game Pass every week we talk about what's coming out on Game Pass. It's worth it.
I love Game Pass. Game Pass is worth it. I get to play tons of games, but it doesn't justify. You buy a PlayStation to play a bunch of those games, the games that we get to play on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
And but you also buy it to play the other games. And it's like this weird balance of sitting on my Xbox going, man, it's so great that I get to just pay $15 a month to have a much better experience. The controller is better hardware. Like my Xbox, I love it. I love my Xbox. If I could play every single game, I would just play it on Xbox if you ask me where I want to play it.
Right.
That's not really the choice and the option. And the fact is, my Xbox is only existing to serve the purpose of playing everything that I can play on it, and not the exclusive things that could be played everywhere else. But there's nothing exclusive that I want to play on Xbox. I will continue to own an Xbox to play the best versions of the games that I can play on every single other box.
Yeah.
And that's weird, but that's where I'm at.
It's interesting because I think the analog is actually in PC gaming, which I grew up as a PC gamer, and there were exclusives back then that like were you need a PC to play Warcraft 2, one of the best games ever, StarCraft 2, and Half-Life and Unreal and all these Tribes, like all these games back in the day, you needed that. I don't see that, and maybe that's why we need to start a PC podcast at some point. Like a lot of the games that you can play on PC, you can play everywhere else. So like you go, why would I want that? And it's for the extra power, the extra horsepower, and the performance and everything. With Xbox, it might be Game Pass, and it's easy. You can sit on your couch and play it. So like, there's reasons. It's not like there's no reason to have a thing, is my argument.
No, and that's true. It's just it's weird that Xbox is truly in that early PC stage.
Totally.
That's what it is. And it's
no, they're in late
weird.
PC stage. I wish they were in early PC stage, where it was like Half-Life, Unreal, StarCraft 2. Like these were, you needed to have a PC to play those games. That was awesome. I don't see too many PC exclusive games that like really take the world by storm now.
I don't see any of those, and it's the reason I don't own a PC.
Bob Blah Blah jumps in and says, if Xbox doesn't have a huge 2023, are we all going to start sweating a bit? Like, I'm not really worried yet because the Xbox Series X and S is a solid platform, but they gotta start making moves, right? Switch came out on a goofy dated hardware, but had awesome games. Xbox comes out with probably my favorite Xbox system, but the games, insert cricket sounds. Who from the community asked the best question? Oh, another question. Who from the community asked the best questions, and why is it Nagachaka? I think it is Nagachaka, but also shout out to Blaze Knight. So Blah 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 is kind of with you, maybe not quite as pulling the fire alarm, Dave. But, you know, you're not alone in this sentiment.
See, the problem is I can't be sweating in 2023 when I'm already sweating. You know, like I can't sit here and go next year. I can't do it anymore. I don't have that.
Yeah.
I just have to know in my heart that the Xbox is the best place to play Crash Team Rumble. It's the best place to play Crash Team Racing. It's the best place to play Tetris Effect. Right? And like these games that I just boot up and play that are on everything else, I know that the first controller I want to grab is that Xbox controller. And maybe someday I'll get an Xbox exclusive game that'll convince everybody else to pick up an Xbox, so they'll be playing in the better place to play instead of me buying games on 3 separate platforms to make sure that I can play with all my friends.
Sorry. We're gonna close out with the final question. This is specifically for you, Dave.
Oh, yeah?
Speaking of Blaze Knight asking great questions, Blaze Knight jumps in and says, what snack best encapsulates Xbox to you, Dave?
Best snack that encapsulates Xbox?
Can I answer this? Can I answer almost like what I think you would say? A fortune cookie. You just open it up and there's like a promise of something to come, but like it's nothing.
No, but there are no. If that's the metaphor we're using, it's like a fortune cookie, but you open it up and there's no fortune inside.
There is fortune. The fortunes get delayed. That's fine.
No. There's
a
like
fortune. There's Avowed, and there's Fable. There's Perfect Dark. There's Halo Infinite will eventually be finished. You know, there's a fortune. It's just they're not. They'll get to it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, Dave. Look,
it's like an Xbox is like every can of Pringles I open. The flavor sounds really fun to taste for the first time, and then it's just not. Like it's just never close enough.
Hang on a second. Pringles are delicious. What are you talking about?
No. When you start tasting new things every single day for the internet to enjoy, and you start reviewing all the new flavors of Pringles, you open them up and you like taste like 16 brand new flavors they put out this year, and only like one of them is exciting.
Well, la-dee-da. Holy cow. You're telling me that Pringles are no good anymore? It totally invalidates everything. I'm just kidding. Dave, thank you for joining me last minute here on the Xbox Drive. Ryan Turford is rebuilding his entire like apartment complex. I think he actually has to nail. He's becoming a carpenter this week. So we have to give him the week off. I'm glad that you were here. Once again, can you tell everybody where on the internet they can find you? Tell them about the Snack Network and where you're not eating Pringles, apparently.
No, I do. I have to eat all the new Pringles. That's really
good.
It's the bit I've committed to. The same way that you decide you to play every game that comes to Game Pass, right?
Damn.
You can find me everywhere at Tell You Dave, or you can follow the Snack Network, which is the Snack Network, or at the Snack Net on almost everything. And we taste new foods, so you don't have to. And we do a bunch of goofy shorts. And I transition into hard metal seltzers. Today is the 12 days or 24-day advent calendar. It's wild. It's weird. I don't know. We taste stuff. It's a channel.
YouTube.com/The Snack Network. You can find me on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe this show on YouTube, youtube.com/Carpool Gaming. Support us at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. That's it for me. For Dave Moore, that's episode number 270. We're actually looking forward to 300 pretty soon. And goodbye, everybody. Bye.